I recently discovered AcreTrader from an ad, and I'm feeling pretty enthusiastic about it. It sounds like a great way to have some diversification in my long term investments, as I believe farmland can be uncorrelated with the stock markets. I saw a couple of blog posts on WCI and Physician on Fire, and so far the reviews seem positive. However, I thought I'd take a step back from the euphoria and ask whether I'm better off just investing in REIT ETFs. Thank you very much for all the work that you have done on your website's blog post and podcast. I am immensely grateful.
Okay, AcreTrader. AcreTrader is one of our sponsors here at the White Coat Investor. We'll put our affiliate link in the show notes. Obviously, if you invest with them through our links, we get some marketing fees. And they're basically an investing platform. They make it easy to buy shares of farmland and then earn passive income. Only takes a few minutes to buy them. Their claim is that farmland has really outperformed most asset classes, has very little correlation with the stock market, and honestly, with a lot of parts of the real estate market. It's even had some positive returns during economic downturns. That doesn't mean it'll always do well, right? Farmland, like anything else, can have a period of very poor returns. But AcreTrader makes it pretty easy to invest in farmland. So if that's something you want to do and you want to do it passively, you want to be pretty hands-off with it, and you want to be able to do it in other locations or whatever that you're not going to be able to drive by and take a look at all the time, yeah, AcreTrader is a great option. But that's not your question. Your question is, should I do that or just use a real estate investment trust exchange traded fund like a Vanguard REIT index fund? And the question really comes down to you and what you want out of the real estate in your portfolio. If you want to have a little bit more control and be able to pick the investments and really want to, have a big chunk in farmland, I think this is a good option. If you want to set it and forget it portfolio, you don't have to think about, that you can just rebalance once a year, that's very, very diversified, that's very low cost. The REIT index fund is a very good choice. I own the REIT index fund. It's 5% part of my portfolio, and I've owned it for many, many years. And you know what? It got whacked pretty bad in 2008, but if you held on, it's had pretty good returns since, and more than made up for it. So I think it's a good investment. But I also own some privately traded real estate, syndications, private funds. I like the fact that depreciation gets passed down to me. I like the fact that I have access to some asset classes that are a little bit harder to get, like these private loans that are given to developers. It's not unusual for these to be paying 6 or 8 or 10 or 12% a year to loan money that's backed by a real asset. And so, I think there's some value there. But what you want to do with your real estate portfolio really comes down to you and where you find yourself on that spectrum of real estate, from the people who buy the house down the street and rent it out and manage it themselves to the people who don't want to do anything other than rebalance their portfolio once a year. Everybody else is somewhere in between. The REIT index fund is way out here on this side with the people who don't want to do much and want maximum diversification, maximum liquidity. AcreTrader is obviously somewhere in the middle. If you want your questions answered by the White Coat Investor, record your question at whitecoatinvestor.com/YQA or click the link in the description.